All right, today we're looking at lesson 8-12, and on this one we're going to compare length and area and volume. So compare length, area, and volume. All right, so length is when we are talking about how wide or tall or long something is. Wide, long, or tall something is. We might also be talking about the distance. What is the distance? How far did you have to go? How far did you have to drive or walk or ride your bike? So it's just talking about kind of a line, basically. Okay, so it's like a line. It is, if we were saying from point A to point B, okay, and we might say, well, that's 2 centimeters. And so that would be the measurement. It's 2 centimeters long. Okay. The area then is when we are talking about like how much surface a figure covers. A figure or a shape covers. So this is kind of like if you were thinking about, well, how much carpet would you put down, or how many tiles, how much tile would you have to buy, or wood floor, or grass if you're going to put that down out in the yard. So it's more about that. So this one up here was 1 dimension. I'll add that in for a line. Dimension. And this one is going to be 2-dimensional. So we're talking about more of like your rectangle kind of a shape. So, well, I didn't really draw this for if I want to say 2 centimeters by 2 centimeters, or maybe it's 3 feet by 2 feet to find that out. And then that would be our area. So we would multiply them, 2 centimeters times 2 centimeters, and we would get 4 centimeters. How many centimeters did we multiply? 2 of them. It's also 2-dimensional, so it's squared. Okay. And our third one, volume. Now for volume, we're talking 3-dimensional, and this is talking about how much space. And I think the word space is important. How much space an object occupies or takes up. Okay, so this is where we get to draw our fancy little 3-dimensional shape. So if it's 2 centimeters, 2 centimeters, and 2 centimeters, so 3-dimensional, 2 centimeters times 2 centimeters times 2 centimeters. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. So it's 8 centimeters. And how many centimeters are there? 3. Plus this is 3-dimensional. Okay. So think about things like how much water is in a swimming pool. That would be volume. How tall are you? Well, that's distance or length. So that's length. How much carpet is needed for the floor? Well, we said that would be area because it's covering a flat surface. How far is it from a doorknob to the floor? So just straight from the doorknob down to the floor, that is length. How much sand is in a sandbox? Well, sand takes up space, so I would say space, volume. How much wallpaper is needed for one wall? That's a flat surface. Wallpaper's flat, so I would say area. How long is a string? Again, that's from one point to another point. Stretch out the string, so that's going to be length. How much space is there inside a refrigerator? There's a word in there that should give it away. How much space is inside a refrigerator? So volume. All right, so kind of keep those in mind as you're thinking about the homework tonight and working on your homework. Your homework will come from page 179 and 180. On 179, it's like what we just did. For each question, write whether you would measure for length, area, or volume. So the amount of space inside a moving van, I bet you know what to put there. All right, here it's solving it out. A box is 5 inches long, 4 inches wide, and 1 inch deep. How much space? So you know you're going to look for volume. So think, first ask yourself, am I looking for volume, area, or length? And then go ahead and solve these problems. And then on the back, we are going to multiply. Practice with multiplying decimals. Remember, you don't have to line up your decimal point, but you count how many digits are after the decimal point to put in your answer. So this one you need to have 2 digits after the decimal point in your answer. This one you need to have 3 digits after the decimal point. Here's some more practice with finding the volume. Remember, length times width times height. So here they give us the volume, so we have to find the length. And then this one is kind of a fun problem. Give one real world example for measuring each of the following. So what's something you would have to find perimeter for? Remember, that's the distance around a shape. Area, the inside of a flat shape. And volume is that space, that three-dimensional. All right, so all the problems on page 171, 179, and 180. So we'll put that down. Pages 179 and 180.